Hi, I'm Nat Benjamin.
And I'm Ross Gannon. We started our boatyard, Gannon and Benjamin Marine Railway, in the place that inspired us the most, Martha's Vineyard.
Nat Benjamin and Ross Gannon were free spirits who wanted to make a living doing something they loved. For Nat and Ross, that was designing and building boats.
Starting as a pipe dream, they built their first boat right here on Martha's Vineyard. Wooden boat building is an island tradition, and Gannon and Benjamin's distinct style has garnered worldwide attention.
Now, Gannon and Benjamin is a thriving business. Their boatyard in Vineyard Haven has produced one of the largest fleet of wooden boats on the East Coast. Today, hear their story on Live What You Love. So you were a sailor?
Yeah, we both
Early on.
sailed a lot, and that's what we had in common, really, our love of sailing
Yeah.
and wooden boats. We had both been trying to keep old wooden boats afloat and that sort of thing, so that's how we got into boat building.
How'd you meet?
Nat and his wife had sailed here, spent a summer, and then they sailed their boat back to Europe. Then they returned to the United States, leaving the boat in Mallorca, and Nat had sold the boat at that point to somebody here on Martha's Vineyard, and he was looking for a crew to deliver it back, and I was one of the crew. And it was several years later that I hauled my boat up here on the beach, and I was, at the time there were no boatyards on the island where you could do your own work, so I had this 36-foot heavy boat that we hauled up on the beach. That in itself is a miracle as I think about it now.
Right.
But I knew that Nat was up at his house trying to make a living building and repairing boats, so I went up and knocked on his door and said, "Remember me? I've helped deliver a sorcerer, and I've got a boat down on the beach." And he said, "Yeah, I've been watching you. I'll come down. I'll give you a hand."
Is that when the spark first started, like even about doing a business together? Is that?
I think about the boatyard, it did, yeah,
Yeah.
because we both, and I had an old boat, and we were thinking, geez, you know, if we only had a place to haul these boats,
Right.
and there were other people in the harbor too. So yeah, we got talking about, you know, how could we do this here?
So here you were, you have a couple of old boats that you're working on, and you found this little piece of land here, and you got your hands on the lease, and you got that underway. Did you have a business plan?
Very loose. As our-
And how'd you find the money?
Well, we went to a few people on the island who were known for giving, you know, loaning them money at very low interest rates and this
Angel
sort of thing.
investors.
Yeah.
Right.
And we talked to several of them, and they all looked at us like we were out of our minds and said, you know, it's the last quarter of the 20th century, and you want to open a wooden boat building boatyard? It's not going to happen. You know,
So
help you get involved.
How did you find the money? I mean, what
Family.
family?
Yeah.
Nat had a brother who had a piece of property in Crested Butte, Colorado.
Yeah.
He sold a piece of property and had some money, and so we borrowed $5,000 from him, and I approached my mother and asked her, could we borrow $5,000 from you? And that we were able to borrow that money, and 12 months later we were paid off.
Who are your customers? What kind of people are they? Are they from here? They come from far away?
What's interesting is our customers have, you know, with perhaps one or two exceptions, have almost all become close personal friends.
Oh, I love that.
People
great.
who
That's great.
we meet for the first time, we talk about a boat, we establish some kind of relationship. You know, that's, I guess you would call that networking, although I was not aware of it at the time. But
Yeah.
you know, here are, you know, these connections that you make through your life, through living your passion or whatever it is, that becomes all your connections and all your real business relationships.
Yeah. When you heard that your boatyard burned, that everything burned down, who told you? Where were you? Just describe that moment. Tell
Or were
me
you
about
here
it.
and it was on fire?
No, we were here right after. I mean, the place was in flames 100 feet high when I got here, but it was in the middle of the night. It was about 1 in the morning. I just got a phone call said, the boatyard's on fire, you better get down here. And I came out of my house in West Tisbury, and I could see the glow in the sky from
It's an eerie thing, isn't it?
3 or 4 miles away.
I live about a mile down the harbor, and my wife Pam, she couldn't sleep. So she got out of bed and she walked down to the beach, and she looked toward this harbor, and she saw this glow, and then we both heard this huge explosion. It was a propane bottle blew up, and then the phone rang, and when the boatyard burned down, and we thought, well, geez, maybe we're doing the wrong thing. Maybe we should go back to delivering boats or moving houses or something else. And the community just embraced us and said, come on, you guys, you're going back to work, and we're gonna help you rebuild. And they did.
Oh, that's a great
So
story.
people came and physically helped.
Hundreds.
After the fire, there were hundreds of people here sifting through the ashes,
Oh, that's
salvaging
terrific.
tools that could be repaired.
What a story. Any words of wisdom for anyone?
Don't be afraid. We had no fear when we opened this. We were, we had concerns maybe, but we were never afraid that it would fail.
Yeah.
And if it does fail, so what? Start
what?
something else.
Start something
you know?
else. So you can always go get a job, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I don't know.
Not that.